Most people talk about Vosne-Romanée as if it were one singular style. But once you see how dramatically its premier crus differ, you can't think of it that way again. Without question, Vosne-Romanée is the brightest star in the Côte de Nuit. Modest in scale, just 180 hectares, yet capable of producing some of the most compelling wines in Burgundy. Just below its world-renowned Grand Crus lie 14 Premier Crus, consistently excellent, but far from uniform. Some lean, powerful, some more lifted, others surprisingly refined, all shaped by subtle differences in sight. Among them, Malconsorts, bordering Nice Saint-Georges, carries a touch of that neighbor's structure and depth. Just below, Les Chaumes is softer, less intense. Back up the slope, Cros Parantoux and Aux Brûlées offer more freshness and lift thanks to their elevation. And closer to Dujac, Les Suchots produces rich, generous wines that can rival many Grand Crus from neighboring Aux. Today, I will share 5 bottles from my cellar, wines I regularly come back to show how these Premier Crus express themselves differently. By the end of this video, you will have a clearer sense of how site shapes style within Vosne-Romanée, what truly separates these Premier Crus, and which ones stand out both in the glass and over time. Premier Cru aux Malconsorts, Domaine Dujac, 2011. Les Malconsorts is a 5.86-hectare vineyard located southwest of Vosne-Romanée, facing due east at 254 to 278 meters. Planted in 1610, relatively recent by Burgundian standards, it lies directly beside Grand Cru La Tâche. The name likely refers to disputed ownership from the Latin consors, with mal suggesting conflict. Malconsorts produces wines of density and depth, less floral than typical Vosne, but layered, structured, and powerful. Dujac holds 1.57 hectares. I bought this in 2020 for $190. It's now around $630. This is a beautifully composed wine, balanced, refined, and quietly complex. There's real substance here, but it's carried with control. A thread of freshness runs through the palate, lifting the wine and adding precision to its gentle grip. Dujac's Malconsorts consistently ranks among the finest expressions of this terroir, and this bottle shows why. Premier Cru Les Chaumes, Domaine Arnoux-Lachaux 2009. Les Chaumes span 6.5 hectares on limestone and marl at the southern end of Vosne, near Nice Saint-Georges. It sits lower on the slope, just beneath Malconsorts, with the upper section generally producing the better wines. The name refers to land once left fallow. Overall, Chaumes tends to produce more muscular wines, though without the aromatic lift of the top sides. Arnoux-Lachaux holds 0.74 hectares. I bought this in 2018 for $130. It's now around $760. This is a wine that surprises. Less depth than the very best sites, but immensely enjoyable, lively, balanced, and full of character. There's weight here, but it's carried with energy and charm. It's also typically the most approachable Premier Cru in the Arnoux-Lachaux range, though this 2009 still has the structure to evolve further. Premier Cru, Cros Parantoux, Domaine Méo-Camuzet, 2015. Cros Parantoux owes its reputation to Henri Jaillet, who replanted it in the 1950s. A tiny 1.01-hectare vineyard just above Renfrew-Richebourg with extremely shallow topsoil over limestone. Cros is an alteration of Creux, which in local dialect is a quarry. Parantoux could be an alteration of Pierre Parantoux, which means stones everywhere. Jaillet had to clear the site with explosives before planting, a reflection of how difficult the terrain is. Today, it's owned by Emmanuel Rouget and Méo-Camuzet, whose parcel is 0.30 hectares. I bought this in 2017 for $550. It's now around $2,700. This is a magnificent wine, precise, mineral, and deeply complex. It's intense, yet never heavy. Everything feels lifted, controlled, and perfectly aligned. There is a sense of energy running through it that keeps it alive and dynamic. This is why Cros Parantoux is often spoken of alongside the greatest Grand Crus. Premier Cru Aux Brûlées, Domaine de Génie, 2012. Aux Brûlées covers 4.53 hectares at the northeastern end of Vosne, just above Grand Cru Richebourg. The site is warm and sun-exposed. Brûlé means burnt in French, with pebbly soils that retain heat, though cooling winds from the combe help slow ripening. These wines are typically rich and concentrated, yet retain a generous velvety texture. Domaine de Génie holds 1.16 hectares. I bought this in 2015 for $85. It's now around $260. From 60-year-old vines and limited production, this is a poised and elegant wine. There is intensity and structure, but it's wrapped in freshness and finesse. The balance between power and lift is what makes it so compelling and why it can stand comfortably alongside some Grand Crus. Premier Cru Les Suchots, Domaine Confuron-Cotetidot, 2010. At 13 hectares, Les Suchots is the largest Premier Cru in Vosne, sitting between three different Grand Crus, Richebourg, Romanée-Saint-Vivant, and Aux. Despite this location, it was never classified as Grand Cru, likely due to its slightly lower position. The name comes from souche, tree stumps in French, cleared to plant vines. The best wines here show perfume, finesse, and persistence, hallmarks of Great Vosne. Confuron-Cotetidot owns 2.16 hectares. I bought this in 2014 for $95. It's now around $195. This is a fascinating wine to follow over time. It starts dense, even slightly rustic, but gradually opens into something far more refined and expressive. There is a beautiful shift from power to elegance, with freshness and complexity carrying through to a long, persistent finish. These are the Vosne-Romanée Premier Crus I keep returning to. Wines I enjoy sharing with friends and family, especially on occasions that call for something a little more thoughtful. They always lead to wet discussions about style, value, and how each vineyard expresses itself. To my palate, each offers a distinct and compelling interpretation of Vosne. Some have seen dramatic price increases, while others still represent excellent value for the quality they deliver. And that, ultimately, is what keeps me coming back to Vosne-Romanée. Not just its reputation, but the quiet, fascinating differences that reveal themselves over time, bottle by bottle. If this helped you to see Vosne-Romanée a little differently, not just as a name, but as a collection of distinct sites, feel free to subscribe. You will find more of my cellar insights and tasting notes over on Instagram. Massive thanks for watching today, and I will see you in the next one.